Hi guys, welcome to another White Forest deck video. Today I'm not bringing you a huge update. I honestly have not made almost any changes. The only changes I made is these two spaces for the extra deck. Shout out to Sir Duck Squire for pointing this out to me. I knew the existence of this, but for some reason I completely obliviated it, and it's a really good addition. My only note on this is that I wish it could be done more easily, because you do require to open your toy box engine with you, and not just like any combination. It has to be like a particular order, so you can pretty much summon this before the 5th summoning, at least for what I've noted this past week. Maybe I still don't have the grip of it still, but it's definitely a better addition than the access code and the what's the name, the level 6 dragon that bounces. I forgot the name, I'm so sorry. But yeah, thanks a lot. It really came in clutch whenever I played it. It was an amazing spot, and I wasn't using those spots, so at least having them there and knowing that they have a powerful interaction, especially in the mirror match, like insane. I really like the addition. So that being said, I think this is the list I will be playing until at least until Rage of the Abyss comes out. That's where a huge update's gonna come in, because Asamina's gonna be coming into the deck. We also have a new powerful, amazing spell card. So yeah, so today, instead of a deck profile, I would like to open a discussion and pretty much go through the process of how I build a deck, and I don't know, like, just open the discussion to see what you guys think. You have any suggestions, and just like pretty much show you why I choose the cards I choose to play and not other cards that maybe you see in other lists or that other people suggest. So I'm gonna put this on the side because it's pretty much the same. So I'm just gonna start with hand traps, of why Veiler, I think it's the best hand trap for the deck, mainly because it's searchable, so you can get access to it if you need to. Second, it's a spellcaster, so even if you open Veiler alongside with Tales of the White Forest, at least you will have some kind of play. You won't necessarily be bricked, or of course if you get hand trap, well, you get hand trap, like whatever. But at least you can have that interaction. So that's why Veiler, I think, in my opinion, is the best hand trap to play here. Because let's say I used to play the Diddy Crow before as well, during the first tests of the deck, and even though like sometimes it was really good, it wasn't quite effective. And I also try like the other hand traps, Ghost Ogre, Ghost Bell, Ghost Mourner, Ash Blossom. Like, these are all very good, powerful cards. But the problem with White Forest, or not the problem, let's just say the slight inconvenience is that White Forest is not a one card combo deck. It requires you to see spells and traps or traps in order to activate your monster effects. So if you see these cards in hand, sure, you might be able to interrupt your opponent, but then when your turn comes around, you won't have the gas, you won't have the ammo to start your plays. So this is why I opted to pretty much play no hand traps at all, except Veiler, because it's the one that has at least more synergy. Just by the mere fact that you can't really start plays with this. You can't really, like, yeah, sure, you can. it's not like decks like Ubel, for example, or Snake Eyes, that you can open 4 hand traps, but if you have your 1 combo starter, then it's good. Here you need to have at least 1 spell or trap plus your White Forest monster. And not just any monster, right? Like your best bets are either a Stellar or Elsat, because they give you access to the other ones, so you can start your synchro plays. So yeah, it's like just my concern when building the deck, when I first starting to see how I wanted to play it, was like, my observation was, if you open too many of these, even if you stop your opponent, you won't be able to start your plays. So there's not enough synergy for you to play this. So what we do have in other forms of interruption in the game are the board breakers that are usually that they usually come in the form of spells. So I started thinking, okay, so I need to start playing board breakers so I can play through my opponent's interruptions, their board. And at the same time, even if I see these board breakers, if I choose to go first, they're good because they're still gas. You know, if you're going first, if you open Raigeki, if you open Happy Feather Duster, that's fine. You can still use that as gas. And if needed be, you can get it back with your Diabel. So my choice, the beginning was a Lightning Storm and Dark Ruler. Thrust was always a must in this deck for me, because it's not only part of the ammo I'm talking about, it's also your access to the other, let's say better ammo. Because if you can access like these cards, for example, this is 2 ammo, so to speak. So it enables you more plays, and it also gets you access to the board breakers you need to see to play around your opponent. So Thrust, it's obviously the best in my opinion, because it's pretty much any of the other ones. And Talent, oh, of course, I mean, we all know that this card is very, very good. So there's no reason why not like take advantage when going second or even going first to like play around your opponent's interruptions. Darula No More is also very good. The reason I stopped playing it is because the deck struggles a little bit. Let's say like getting the kill, like getting to defeat your opponent fast enough. So if you can't kill them fast enough, then you might lose the grand game a little bit, especially against powerful decks like Ubel and Snake Eyes. So I opted to take it out because in the end, after Appaloosa was banned, then this really wasn't as necessary anymore, because Appaloosa was a big threat to this deck. But it's still a good card. I would still consider it to play it, especially maybe in the upcoming format with Asamina and this new deck's coming out. So it's still in the loop. And Lightning Storm, I wanted a board breaker that I could use even like on turn 3. Okay, so that's why it switched to Raigeki and Harpy's Feather Duster, because this card is basically these 2 in 1, right? But the fact that you have to control no cards face up, sometimes it could be very bad if you're in a situation where, for example, you have the Silhouette Rabbit that cannot be destroyed by battle. So yeah, you join to this and then you're like, okay, I have nothing. But at least these 2, you can play them anytime. So that's my rationale behind it. And for the traps, well, of course, impermanence, I mean, this is just standard. It's the most standard trap / hand trap. We have negation in any turn, so it can be offensive or defensive. And then the evenly match, of course, the excellent board breaker, pretty much wipes your opponent's entire board. And even if it's not, even if it's your turn, like going first, you still have some ammo here. The Black Goat Laughs for me is one of the MVPs because it is both a defensive and offensive card, and it's just insane how this card can do so much for you in either turn. Like, I've had duels against Tenpai, Yubel, Snake Eyes, even the mirror match. As long as you know the key card you need to call out so your opponent doesn't combo off or your opponent can't leave you a very strong board, this card is just insane. Like, Tenpai, sure, they shift you if you have this in your hand or you have thrust, you can set it past turn and then just call out the Synchro 7, Sangen Tenpai, I think is the name. They won't be able to kill you. So at least it gives you another turn. Against Yubel, they normal summon the Lotus, activate effect, chain this, call Spirit of Yubel. They're forced to play the OG Yubel. So you interrupt them. You don't only interrupt them, like you pretty much stop their plays. Against Snake Eyes, just call Flamberge whenever they're like send Snake Eyes Ash or Oak, whatever, and you see that Flamberge is coming, flip it up, just call Flamberge. You take away their IP Masquerina, you take away their extra bodies in the form of the level 2 ones that Flamberge summons back, and you interrupt them in a way that they are forced to play around like differently, and it gives you more time, it gives you more power at the time this card activates. And going second, so many times, guys, like this interaction right here, it's so powerful. I played against a Sprite and they had the mannequin cat on board, and I was like, okay, the moment this thing falls, they're gonna activate something, and I don't know what they're gonna summon, but I know they put that for a reason. You activate this, send this for cost, chain, call out Mannequin Cat, they no longer can activate their effects. And same goes for any other card. Like if they have IP Masquerina, if they have SP Little Knight, right? Like you can just do this, call out their name, and they can't use those effects. So it's an additional protection for you, because we all know like SP can be very disruptive, especially in this deck that you need to synchro, so you need the 2 monsters. So I think this card for real was the best addition that I could ever come up with. Like it's just been insane during the testing, it's been insane during the performance. It has never let me down. This card is so good. Jesus Christ, I spent like 2 minutes talking about this card. That's how good it is. And then other options are the Destructive Daruma Karma Cannon. I just see it like as an additional Silvera, but wasn't really as good, because it can also kill your Lynx, your SP, or your Silver Rabbit. But you know, it's there in the loop still. Like it could work. Dimensional Barrier. Right now, I don't think it's that good, except if you're going into the mirror match. Maybe Yubel, if you call fusions, they could like hit them really good. And especially the future, when Azamina comes out, maybe you will you will see more use for this card. I don't think it's good at this point in time. Gravity Collapse. It's a good card. It pretty much shuts down your opponent's turn by sending one of your synchro monsters, and it's especially good in this deck because you can shuffle back your Diabel or your Arciela or Silvera, and you pretty much just shut down their turn. They can't summon anything else, but there's no way to search it, so it's just a hard draw. So that's like the downside to it, but it's also an option. Let me know if you agree. Maybe I'm just crazy. And then the Dominus Purge. I have seen this in many lists. A lot of people at locals have told me like, this card is so good in this deck. why aren't you using it? Thing is, like, shutting down some of your extra deck, for me, it's like, for one negate, like, for me, I don't see it as worth it, especially in a format where you interrupt something, but then they keep going, and it doesn't really feel like a good trade-off. Like, if you use this card, you're pretty much trading 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, not because you didn't really use this effect, but just say 5. You're trading those 5 cards for 1 negate for the rest of the duel. If it were just for the turn, it would be maybe a different approach. But yeah, for the rest of the duel, it's a little bit harsh in my opinion. I haven't really had a spot where I say like, oh, I wish I had Dimnus Purge here. So yeah, that's my thought behind it. So maybe someone that's using it, please let me know if I'm missing something, or if it's worked for you. Like what are the advantages that maybe I'm not seeing at the moment. And then they see like Ghost Sister and Pocket Spooky Dogwood. Like, at first I thought this was gonna be good against Tempai, but it really wasn't. Sometimes it can kill you even over this, so it's just like a lucky thing, you know. If maybe they use Prosperity and then you can use this, maybe you'll live. But it's just like the 2 times I used it, I still died. So yeah, I don't think this is that good. I think there's better cards for sure. Then of course the Bestials. I mean, the mirror match, it's very good. For Yubel, it's really good as well. So I mean, it's just a good addition. In addition, if you want to play the Spatter version, that's also really good as well. I tried it once during my first versions. I honestly didn't like it that much. Like, you didn't really see that much, although having the Spatter, it is really good to have him on board. But yeah, I just think it's more optimal the way I have it right now. And the Threatening Roar, like, I think this card does more than Spooky Dogwood against Tempai. And it's not only against Tempai. It pretty much helps you against any other deck. Not having the battle phase will for sure give you another turn. So right now I have it on the side. I still don't know if I want to put it in the main deck. I still don't know what I take out. But yeah, these are my thoughts on how the deck works, and like my choices for the cards I play. I really like this deck. It's super fun, and I'm gonna keep playing forward. Like, I really love this deck, guys. Like, it's so fun. It's very powerful, and I think it's gonna get even more powerful with the upcoming support. So yeah, sadly it's not a 1-card combo. Like, there's nothing that you can actually say like, okay, like, I need this card and that's all that it takes. You're gonna need always something. Like, this comes in hand with other spells. Even if you open Sylvie and just search for your tails, you still need another additional spell trap to start playing. So that's why I think for White Forest, like, hand traps is not really that good. It's better to take this board breaker approach, so you can have gas always to not only clear your opponent's board, but also to start your plays. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching. This went a little long, but please let me know your thoughts. I want to know what are your thoughts on deck building for this deck, if you are playing the deck, or even if you are not necessarily playing the deck, but maybe like choke points you see, or things that you've seen while playing against a deck that are really good or really bad, that you think like, okay, like, this is where it's failing. I haven't played the Runic version. I really don't like Runic. I hate that engine so much. I know it's good, but I just don't like it at all. It's just, I don't know. Not it's not for me. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I will hope to see you in the next one. Take care.